Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're ready for today's video. So it's Saturday. On Saturdays, I do Cellar Saturdays where I drink something off the shelf. I had 7 of these on the shelf, so I still have 6. I forget, it was several months ago, but someone's like, hey, can you do a Westie 12? But I had done one last October, so I'd like to wait until like a year after that review to do it. So I'm sorry, I just forgot who it was. But at that time, I did put it in my beer fridge, so it's been in there for months. But anyway, here's the thing though, and I could have taken this off and looked at what year it is. So it's one of 2 years. It's probably from 2014. It could be even a little older. I had gone to Belgium and brought back some for some friends and myself. And then a few years later, when I paid off my student loans and got my tax refund, I ordered a case from Belgium and wax sealed them all at the same time, not thinking, well, duh, all the information's on the cap. So it's probably 2014, but it could be a little older. But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. I got proper glassware. I'll put it this way: I went all out when I paid off my student loans. And I got the case, I got the wooden case for them to come in. It's right off camera. I put stuff in it, like beer related stuff in it. And what else I get? I ordered that tray. I don't know if you can see, like a St. Bernardus serving tray, bunch of cool stuff. So this is from 2014, yeah, in March specifically of that year. So it is 2014, so 8 years and about like 8.5 years at time of review. Yeah, let's get into it. For the Instagram picture, I gotta not pour too much, a little bit more. But yeah, I ordered the glass. I ordered a tasting glass too. Like I just was like, you're gonna pay the shipping, I might as well load up on this order. So if you don't know this about me, I love Belgian style quads. Well, I actually am so used to drinking American ones. I love Belgian quads. If you don't know about this beer, educate yourself. Yeah, there's definitely some floaties. It's a light orange, little bit of red in there. Good carbonation still. Not like champagne carbonation, but there's still, for how old it is, some nice carbonation. The beer should be around 10% ABV, and some legs, little bit of lacing sticking around. Looks beautiful. Let's get into that aroma. Big raisins, figs, and dates for sure. A little bit of molasses, some caramel, cider. It's been a little bit since I've said this, but I've said this in many beer reviews of beers like this. It doesn't smell like baking spices, like cinnamon, allspice, but like when you smell it, you're like, man, those spices would work so well on this beer. Yeah, it totally invokes that thing. So it's very fruity, but there is, again, some molasses, some caramel. Even soft chocolate. A little bit of plum juice. Man. It smells awesome. Let's see about the taste. Cheers. That's good. Yeah, okay, so this continues to age well. Actually, it follows the aroma a lot. Don't get me wrong, it does drink like a beer, but like someone who doesn't like beer, but they like apple cider, I think there's enough of that apple, and not just, I'm making it sound too appley, but like cider has this like almost like robustness to it. I'm talking like not even hard cider, like my grandfather used to make, unpasteurized, legit, really dark brown cider. So it has some of that with the molasses, not too much caramel. Like the aroma, it's a lot of these fruits. It's the prune, the raisins, the plums, figs, dates. It's so much of that stuff. But again, with some caramel, with some molasses. The molasses note and a little bit of that alcohol is helping balance out all this like sweet fruit, dried fruit stuff. Man, it smells even better now that I've tasted it a few times. It's it's not overly sweet. It's a little sweeter than I remember, and the reason I'm saying that is because I wanted to make this point anyway. Pretty tough beer to get. To be fair, you're either going to Belgium or you're spending a good amount of money or trading a good amount. But if you don't know, St. Bernardus basically brews the original recipe. And it's very similar. I think that one's a little sweeter than this one, so that's why I'm going into it like, okay, what was the big difference? Because I've done them side by side a few times. I'm like, oh yeah, St. Bernardus I think is a little sweeter than this one. So I think because that's what I was going in thinking, that I'm like, oh, this has some sweetness to it. But man, this is good. It tastes like. It tastes like Christmas in a glass too, but again, it's because it's invoking those baking spices. It's not quite Sammy Claus, which is not a Belgian style ale, but like it scratches some of those itches that I really like. Like Sammy Claus is one of my favorite beers, right? As is this one. If I had to knock it at all at this point, it's a little thin. It's not. And again, I chose to age it for this long, and even though there's a decent amount of carbonation, it's not as creamy as it once was. At least this bottle's not. That'd be like my only knock on aging it for this long is I think it did lose a little bit of that creaminess from the carbonation. But man, it's a killer brew. Yeah, I think I got this in the aroma. Not that I got a lot of chocolate in the aroma, but I get even less in the taste. But there's a little bit, finds its way into the taste. But yeah, it's phenomenal. It has aged really well. I think because of the lack of it being not quite as creamy as it once was, I'll say it's not peak. It's less than peak. But it's the flavors on point for sure. I'm not mad at it. It was actually a Belgian quad many moons ago that got me interested in aging beer, because that was, at the time at least, if not the best beer I ever had, top 5. And I will never remember what that beer was specifically. I don't think the people I consumed it with will remember or have remembered, because I think I've asked them. So I've kind of been like chasing that dragon, especially with Belgian quads. And that one was like, in the best way, candy in a glass. But anyway, that's why I like to age these beers. I don't know if I've ever talked about that. Maybe it'll be a different story for another day. Maybe I'll try to really figure it out. It was from Belgium, and it was a quad. And maybe if I saw the label, I'd recognize it, because I'm such a visual person. Anyway, I'm getting really hungry. I'm supposed to go make dinner soon. So, and I think I'm rambling. So it's time to wrap it up. Have you had this beer before? Have you had a nice quad lately? Belgian or Belgian style. Are you drinking something else that's really good? I know some people do Cellar Saturday like this. Some people do Cellar Sunday. I know Billy does that, for example. Oops. So is anyone drinking something that has some age on it? You're not drinking something with age, but you just want to tell me what you're drinking. Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.